Hello, class. It's late for me, after midnight for crying out loud, on a Monday rather than a Sunday. Um, I kind of missed a day yesterday, had some family stuff, and then I had a massive honking headache, so I missed a bunch of my prime time for doing grading. I got your papers graded, your week 5 stuff. Please look at the feedback I gave you and don't make the same mistakes for your paper this week. All right? And if you did a good job on your week 5 paper, please repeat cuz I love it when grading is easy. That's an awesome thing. So, as far as overall grades on those papers, there was a wide range. I did give, I don't know, 4 or 5 maybe, somewhere in there, 50 full points on papers. And I gave quite a few that were below 40 points. Quite a few. So if you got less than 40 points, look at the detailed, annotated things that I'm pointing out to you that you need to fix and correct going forward, because APA style will continue, and you have to follow what APA style is, and that includes the use of headings and subheadings and organizing your paper and your content with those. As I have said this would make it four videos, maybe 5 videos that I have mentioned this. So, without diving into that and getting up on a soapbox, let's take a look at modules and look at week 7, which, by the way, will build off of that week 5 paper. Here we go. Week 7, learning objectives. We have 3 of them. Design qualitative data collection procedures for a research topic. Design quantitative data collection procedures for a research topic. And apply appropriate statistical techniques for analyzing qualitative and quantitative data. Okay, that S word of statistics can be kind of scary. Before I even go to the next page, I'm just going to tell everyone, don't propose a study where you're trying to show causation. That is exceptionally difficult and hard to do, because if you're going to do that, you have to account for every possible variable. And every student in your classroom is a variable. They come from different backgrounds, different experiences, different histories, and you can't fully account for that. Definitely not at this level with an introduction to research class. Instead, look at correlation. You're just looking for correlation. And you know the old phrase, correlation does not equal causation. But a lot of times correlation hints at causation, and we'll let some research experts figure that one out. All right? It has to start somewhere, and you start by establishing clear-cut correlation between whatever couple of variables you have. What did I see in the week 5 papers? I saw variables like socioeconomic status and grades. Those are 2 great variables, and data could be gathered about those 2 variables for a school or a district or a grade or your class, potentially anyway, although you have to remember the ethical considerations of small numbers of a small n size, a small sample size, could possibly mean that someone's identity could be determined, and you don't want that. That's a violation of ethics, right? Let's move on. So correlation is your go-to statistical measure. So moving on, we have 3 chapters. They're dumping 3 chapters on you. Qualitative data collection, quantitative data collection, quantitative data analysis. Rock on. Moving on. Here's our assignments. We have 2 discussion posts. By the way, they're both marked Wednesday here in modules, but this one, discussion, published or unpublished instruments, I changed that to Friday. So if you go to that discussion prompt, the actual assignment, you'll see that I had changed it to Friday, and I made that Friday nice, big, and bold. All right. So the first one, how would you describe the process used to analyze qualitative data to a novice teacher? What types of qualitative data that would be collected as part of an action research project? What do you see as the most difficult and or time-consuming aspect of qualitative analysis? All right, that chapter that they provided you is going to be your friend. Use it. All right. Next one, published or unpublished instruments. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using existing published or unpublished instruments as a means to collect data in research studies? Present a case for or against using existing instrumentation to collect research data. That's going to be an interesting discussion post, I think. That one should be interesting. Next one, the biggie, right? Assignment, research questions and data analysis. Let's go right to this because I am probably going to alter. Well, I know I'm going to alter. One thing I will do is I will add, turn it in to this assignment. It says, using the challenge you identified in your Week 5 article review, develop several research questions for investigating that topic that would require qualitative and quantitative data. All right. So that's a minimum of 2 questions. Give me a qualitative question and a quantitative question, one for each. That's the minimum. Okay. Write a 2 to 3 page summary of those questions and a description of how you would conduct your statistical analysis. Be sure to include references to any statistical programs. Pardon me. Here I am up late again. Any statistical programs you would use to assist the analysis. Support the ideas presented in your summary with a minimum of 3 references. There it is. So if I don't see 3 references, that's going to be tough. Oh, but wait. It's like an infomercial here. You were given 3 references at the beginning of this Week 7 modules. Your resources gives you 3 references. And if you have more than that, rock on. Add them in. All right. Again, here is our rubric. And it is identical to what we have been given for the other written papers. And Turnitin will be applied to this. And again, I'm going to mention, if you have a Turnitin score above, say, 25%, you have a problem. Go get rid of some quotes in there somewhere and paraphrase that information instead. All right? Please do that. I spent a lot of time, like a massive amount of time, grading those Week 5 papers because I wanted to point out and annotate every possible thing that I could think of on everyone's paper. So everyone got a lot of feedback. That feedback is completely wasted if you don't use it going forward with this paper right here and your week 8 papers, plural, right? So please use the work I've invested in you to help guide you in doing things the right way in your writing and in APA style and in organizing your writing via headings and subheadings. Okay? So, how would I organize this paper, headings and subheadings? All right. You have two different kinds of research, qualitative and quantitative. You are supposed to develop research questions for each of those. I could at first envision in my head a qualitative approach, that's a heading. A quantitative approach, that's a heading. Statistical analysis, there's another heading. There's 3 headings right there. Plus an introduction without a heading, because APA doesn't use introduction as a heading. Please put your title at the top. I'm going through all the things that I marked over and over and over and over in the papers that I graded today. And of course, conclusion, please. What's in the conclusion? Tell me what you told me. What's in the introduction? Tell me what you're going to tell me. Let's see, what else? So I gave you 3 headings. You could, within those, for example, a qualitative approach, you could put research question or research questions. Maybe you're going to put 2 in there. Feel free, all right? You don't have to do that research. You're just putting a couple in there, all right? And refer to the chapters in your book. They're going to have examples and show you what this looks like. All right? Okay. Questions, comments, concerns, consternations, or anything else, send me an email. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I know I missed a couple of emails and didn't get back to a couple of you promptly, but I think we got that squared away now. So let's see. I think that's about it here for this week. Remember that you need to use the chosen research topic, challenge, problem, whatever it is that you identified in your week 5 paper. And by the way, a couple of you did not do that. That hurt, because it's pretty prominent in the instructions. Anyway, for those of you who did not do that in your week 5 paper, you need to do that. And those of you who didn't, you probably also need to revisit doing some research and coming up with some sources and some information to support whatever it is you're going to get going with research questions and data analysis on this. All right? But hey, you know, that's just my suggestion. Can you sense my sarcasm? Okay. I think that's it. Coming up on 14, almost 15 minutes now into this. I think we can be done. Again, we're building towards week 8, and week 8 is going to be, I don't know, hell week, I think, is how I'm seeing it. How I would, if I were a student in this class, that's how I would see it. Week 8 is hell week, and there's a lot to do. So I kind of went over that last week. Go back to last week's video and refresh your brain on what's coming at you week 8. All right. I will, of course, go over that in great depth and detail next week. Maybe a little early next week. Okay, that's all I got for you. Have a good week, and I will catch you later. All right. Adios, everybody. Bye.